Okay. All right. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Shop Class Podcast. Tonight we got a huge amount of people coming in. We're all over the map here. We got our regular Duke Lazowski's in the house. And how you doing, Duke?
What's going on?
All right. And tonight we got Revolt Systems, the whole crew right there. How you guys doing?
Excellent.
Hey, every day's a good one.
All right.
Well, it's not the whole crew, but it's the prettier part of the crew.
Oh, nice. And we want to get an update. We want to know what you guys are doing. We've done a podcast for you guys before, and it was awesome. I went like 130 miles an hour with snow driving me through pushing the wind. I don't know how you guys did it. You made a brick fly. It was unbelievable.
You know what? We can make pigs fly too if you give us enough money.
That's awesome. And we got Greg Curwin. He's supervisor. I guess describe you as a supervisor for San Diego area. Go ahead.
Not really. I'm not really a supervisor, but I'm just a person who sucks up oxygen at the district and helps other teachers. So
Yeah, but
No,
I gotta interject.
Greg
Yeah,
down
Greg,
there.
yeah, Greg, okay,
Greg's
you
the man.
may do that at school, but dude,
Greg is the man.
He's the man. And not only that, he's extremely mechanically inclined. Don't mistake his good looks for black and brain stuff. That guy knows his engines, he knows his ICE stuff. Now he's even got into the electric stuff. Greg, sorry, I got to toot your horn in a little bit.
All right. And actually, we want to hear about the progress on the Morris Minor too.
okay,
Oh.
well, we'll talk about that later.
Nice. And we got Stephen Williams in the house. I think I've met Steve before. He's from San Diego.
Greg,
What's
probably
that?
it's me.
Good. How you doing?
Doing all right. This here, I'm playing fetch with my dog actually because she just decided it was time to play fetch, but we'll be okay. We'll get it done.
All right. And we got some people joining as well. It's amazing because Stephen was telling me about a court case that he specifically referred to dealing with this shift from hands-on work and some college to only college, the push for only college. And it came down to a court case. Stephen, you want to explain that? Because I feel like you did a good job explaining the court case. I have it up here.
Right. So put it in a nutshell. Basically, this fella named Griggs went against Dodd Power Company. I think that's what we determined it was a Dodd anyway.
Duke.
Duke. And so what happened was he went there to apply for a job. They gave him an aptitude test and he couldn't take the test because he couldn't read or write. So then that went to the Supreme Court and they ruled in favor of him. And so that from there forward, the go around on any job, if you wanted a job as a warehouse clerk, it says, well, you got to stock product and be able to do inventory and pull product to, for delivery, whatever. Everybody, you'd find a job like that. And then they would just put in there at the very bottom, they put college required. So, that's the go around, right? So a company would do that. So, okay, no more aptitude tests. Great. That's fine. This is how we go around it. And so the assumption was everybody's gone to college, a good chance that they could read and write. And so that's where it all started. And Greg could jump in on that. The guy named Jerry that's in DC that talked about that. In other words, he's the one that he explained to us when we had to teach something back in 18. I first heard that and I go, well, that makes sense. So it wasn't so much that it's a law that you have to put college on this stuff, but it's from the employers are putting that on that. And that narrative struck a chord with parents that they have to put their kids in college. You can't get a job. You can't even go to work at 7-Eleven out of college. So I went to high school. I started 1976 at Sarah High School in San Diego. And it was a brand new auto shop. And everything was gung-ho and let's go and everything's great. And by the time Greg, who went to Sarah High School as well, by the time 1991, that shop was already closed. Okay, and I graduated in 78, so that thing didn't, a little over 10 years, that shop was closed, became a storage facility for Sarah High School. So, and Greg could cite the guy, Jerry in DC. I don't remember his last name. Greg knows. You can take it from here, Greg. Turn your mic on. Turn your mic on, Greg.
Yeah, you don't have a mic on, or you're not muted here though. Oh, Carl Kingsby is joining in. That's awesome. Okay, we'll let you work out the mic. In the meantime, yeah, I mean that's pretty much the story is that you have to do college. I mean, college is great, but it's all theory. And then I think you definitely need the hands-on. me personally, I went to college, but it didn't know my career was dead on arrival until I started going to night school for automotive, for welding, and for electrics and stuff like that. And then everything worked out. I found shop teaching. I didn't even know that shop class was a thing because I didn't have it growing up. And so the irony is that now I'm a shop teacher and I absolutely love shop class. You get to be creative. You get to come up with ideas. You get to inspire the youth and teach some skills. Pretty cool stuff. So let's see. Hey, Carl, can you hear us yet? Let's see. Get him to unmute himself and join.
Kingsbury.
Yeah. And he was in a class with me in 2008 where we converted a gasoline car over to electric. And so, there's these cool things where you're as you're a shop teacher, or if you're in the trades, or even into cars, you can come up with these cool projects that like spearhead into the future, and that's where we have Revolt literally using like an arrow to cut through the wind. You guys want to give us an update? Like, what's the latest? What's going on over there?
We also use bricks to go through wind.
Done the
We
racing for the season.
we're done with the racing. Racing was kind of a flop this season because just weather
beat us down.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere we usually race for land speed was either shut down or rained out or poor conditions.
Yeah.
Bonneville didn't even really run this year. They had speed week, but let's call it slosh. It was terrible.
I want to say thanks again to Greg, because Greg, the Revolt crew were all, otherwise occupied the last day of the last meet, and Greg and his buddy stepped up and set me off the line. So I just want to say thanks for that again. That was massively appreciated.
Yeah, no, Greg, thank you, dude. You've always done a really good service for all of us. So
Next time you're in town, you get a free lunch.
exactly. It's on the Welshman. he makes spam out of his van. It's amazing. And even if it falls on the floor, it's okay. It's a 5-hour rule with spam, not 5 minutes, not 5 seconds, because the stuff doesn't go bad.
But no, new stuff. We're trying to work on a much more complete kit. We've got the motor, obviously, that you just hook up your 400 volts to, but we're kind of working our way backwards towards the battery, getting as many modular components as we can out there so that people can do this without having to do a whole science project themselves.
Yeah, and we just released a there's the creeper.
This wasn't even set up. They rolled up on me. This
is not even a setup. We actually rolled up on him. We call that the creeper because
you call it the creeper.
No, we call it the creeper.
We call it the
You
creeper.
called it the creeper. Just keep your children and the schools away from this thing. It's a Reaper van in the
Safe
making.
places you can't park.
But no, there's him cooking spam on a little, the hibachi hot plate inside of his van, keeping himself warm because it was cold as ice. Us Californians don't do cold
You
weather.
guys got to get him like an off-grid system with some solar panels and some battery backup.
I got battery backup in there.
He does have
he
battery
actually
backup
has
in
an
there.
AC unit in there tied to
Yeah.
an inverter with a bunch of lead acid batteries.
Nice.
It was not required this time.
Did he
No,
just
he
drop?
needs a heating unit.
Did he just drop the spam on his fire? What happened?
Yeah, that's the 5-minute rule for spam, 5-second rule for any other meat product. But I mean, it's coated in the nice dust that is sitting
The
on
sandwich was crunchy.
Yeah.
But-
So, like the Welshman just said, we are working out towards a more complete solution for plug and play. We were the first people to kind of offer not just the most powerful motor, the best looking, how more can I say, but it also came with a wiring harness that was ready to go. It came with all this, a throttle pedal. So all that mystery stuff of trying to build this is pretty much gone. This year we launched a contactor box. So all your pre-charge, your fuses, all your high voltage stuff is already in a box ready to go, wired into our wiring system. All you really literally have to do is add a 12-volt battery on one end and a 400-volt battery on the other end. The thing works. So that's our newest product. We also are working on developing a couple other things. We're working ourselves towards batteries as well. Our intention is to have a full plug and play kit here, hopefully next year sometime.
Wow.
That any knucklehead like me could just take it in and go plug it in and not care. We also have some really cool projects when it comes to fast cars. Obviously we've done Bonneville, got a world record out of that one. fastest electric car. Your truck's been doing really well at the drag strip. It's running one of our motors in it, but we are retiring the Little Giant. So that 444 car that's up on the screen right now, you see the students were a big part of it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to run that again this year, but hey, we already have the record. So what we're going to do is we're pulling that powertrain out of there. And that powertrain actually belongs to me here at Revolt, or Revolt Systems, I should say. So that belongs to us. What we're going to do with that power system is we're going to put it in his C10. So we're taking the Revolt motor out of his car, and we're putting 2 of them in his truck. So it's that same system. Snow's truck is going to become a serious race car.
God, it's already fast.
It's going 1,200 horses. It's going to be double of what you felt.
And all-wheel drive.
And all-wheel drive.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so right there, those 2
Yep.
motors and those 2 inverters are going to be stacked in front of inside Snow's truck. We're going to make it look trick. Eventually, we're going to go to a carbon body, but for now, we're going to keep it metal and, very sleeper to start with. And then as we try to shave time off of a quarter miles, we'll go to a full carbon setup.
We don't think it's right that the OEM car is the fastest, street car down the strip.
You get
The hot rodders really should be faster than the OEM cars. So
Yeah.
we're trying to fix it.
So the problem is you go out to the racetracks nowadays and you get, Tesla Plaids beating the snot out of everybody doing, low 9s on the quarter. I want this truck to beat a Plaid, and I'm actually probably going to buy my wife a Plaid.
Wow.
So I have justification to buy her the Plaid so I could go rip that thing up on the racetrack.
I think she needs it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Well,
needs it.
She needs it.
Need to get the kids to school faster.
Exactly.
This was
Road
me
rage
for a ride in Snow's truck. I got to tell you, I was blown away. I couldn't even believe what was going on. I did not expect that. I was just like, okay, cool. We'll just go for a quick little ride. And then boom, we're just flying down the road. I was like, holy schmoly. That was a fun ride. Yeah, I appreciate
And you
that.
actually raced my Tesla and I lost.
Yeah. This is it right here.
No, when I went back and I watched, when you sent the link to the last one, I had never watched the whole video. So I sat there and had it playing while we were working, and watched the whole thing. And it was just hilarious to me. You were laughing and smiling nonstop the whole time we were in the Hillbilly Deluxe. And it was just so funny to see this nonstop smile on his face.
Now, just for any of the kids watching, that is a closed course track with pretend
in
cars on
Mexico.
it. So we
Yes.
Mexico. We did not race that on any public streets, and we stayed under the speed limit.
Yes.
I think I'm wiping the dust out of my eyes here.
Professionals on a closed course.
Yes,
I don't
there,
think that car got
there-
vacuumed. Yeah.
there is a gun rack in the back there too. So
That was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I think I'm still stoked from it. That was awesome, man.
yeah, so that
I mean-
trip getting major heart transplant coming in. We were literally ripping all the running gear out of it. I'm gonna leave the 4Link in it. We're gonna put a front pumpkin in there with all-wheel drive IRS, so we're gonna put IFS, so independent front suspension. We're gonna put a transfer case in it and then run the 1,200 horsepower through the car and see what she could do.
Are you going to run
Yeah.
an all-wheel transfer case, or are you going to run a four-wheel drive transfer case?
4-wheel drive.
Oh, so it's not so you can't turn it very. I mean, it don't have that
Truck's
extra.
Yeah, I mean, we may do one that you could turn it off and on, so you go back to 2-wheel drive, obviously, so you could drive it on the street still.
Are you going to put? Will there be traction control on it?
We do have a GPS based traction control that is designed by one of the motor companies that does our control systems. The reason I want to do a 4-wheel drive system on it is when we get the heavy weight shift to the rear of the car, when you launch, I don't want the front wheels just sitting there puddling.
Yeah, there's one car that I watched on 1320 videos. It was a 4-wheel drive, 69 or 68 Camaro, and this doesn't want to go straight though. I mean, it's all you're spinning the front tires and you lose your steering. So the guy's like kind of all over the place, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's fast car, it's an 8-second car, but it was just kind of, my thought was that you're losing your steering, and I get the theory. I just haven't found a car that. I mean, I see the electric Teslas; they go like hell. They get it figured out. How to
Yeah,
apply
they got a lot of algorithms running on, and they have a separate the front and rear on the Plaids,
Motors are separate.
and the motors from side. So there's 3 motors in that car. There's one that drives the front, 2
Mhm.
that drive the rear, one on each wheel.
Okay.
Two in the back are mechanically independent. They do not touch each other in any kind of mechanics. The front
That's
one does go
freaky.
through a differential, but
Okay.
the traction control in that car is extremely, extremely high end, and they monitor everything pretty highly.
I got to tell you, I have a Model Y. It's the first new car I've ever owned, and I drove it through a snowstorm to get to the ski slopes, and I got to tell you, it works. That thing works really well. So if you guys have any tap into any of those the computer systems that are on the market now, or you develop yourself, the electronic control just feels good. You know, like it works. You know?
Yeah, because it doesn't have to sit there and mess with your timing or your remote, and it's not grabbing brake calipers to try to
It is.
compensate for that.
It is.
Well-
They're open diffs.
Yeah, but it's in the back. It's not doing that on the
Not
Plaid.
on the Plaid. No,
it's
no,
it's
not on
torque
the Plaid.
vectoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
torque
on his
vectoring.
Y in the snow,
Yes,
it will, as soon as it slips, it will grab, and simulate a limited.
correct. But
slip.
the
It's
Plaids do it
spectacular.
with torque vectoring.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Which I always wonder is if one fails, you know, you're on a launch, you hit the 60 foot, and one of those drive units fails, they've got something in there to know.
Electric motors never
Yeah.
fail. This guy.
I want to make sure I say hi to Carl. Carl, how you doing? Dude, Carl, the last time I think I saw you was 2008, man.
We were doing that electric vehicle thing.
Yeah, dude. I have got some news for you. Did you see that they brought her car back to life?
I saw something.
This is it.
Where is it?
It's up in San Marcos at the EVLC. That lady Vicky, she donated it to. There's like this little school, and it's across from EV West, and she donated the car. It was dead, and then Kevin Lieberman, he's kind of like a tinkerer, and he does software for Harley, and he put some temporary batteries in it and got it to run. So the thing runs, no problem still. And but you know, as far as the batteries, they were shot. But they did upgrade them after we did AGM lead acid, and they switched it to lithium, and then probably phosphate, and then I don't know what he's got in there now, but
I thought she had. Excuse me. I thought she left with lead acid when we originally did the mod.
yeah, she did. Yeah, it was like AGM lead acid, like glass mat or whatever. But it was just, you know, it's basically lead acid. And then those died, and then they upgraded her, I don't know how many years ago, to like, I think prismatic, the brick looking cells, the lithium iron phosphate. And then those died, and then she donated. I think she's a little older now, and so they donated it. And then, but he brought it back to life. So isn't that wild? That car we did so long ago is still there. Still,
Well, you know, when you build them right.
yeah. That was a great class, man. It's unbelievable.
Have you talked to that cat with that Rolls Royce anymore?
Oh no, yeah, this guy he had a Rolls Royce that, oh, you know, I don't never know what happened to that. So this guy brought a Rolls Royce in, and what did he put in there? Like 2 big DC motors?
So the vehicle used to be one of the TC Lawrence's, Lawrence of Arabia. It was part of his, and somehow he was telling me this arduous story about how this thing came from the Mideast and into Europe and then over to here. He's got the power plant, he said, mounted at his house. It runs, but then he put a couple of big DC motors in it. And, you know, because the car was 1.5 miles long, he put, you know, like a ridiculous amount of batteries in it as well. But that car was pretty smooth. I mean, it was too big to be, you know, squealing tires, especially when the tires are 3.5 inches wide.
Yeah, isn't that wild? Look, I think I got the photo.
It sounds like that's a candidate for a revolt motor.
Dude, that was
There it is. It's Carl.
Yeah,
Those
man.
too big to squeal tires.
He's barely aged.
I know he looks the same. You know,
Hey,
it's funny.
don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Mr. Q was singing that song, and he made us sing it twice, and I think I skipped breakfast or something. And I gave them like the most Jersey look ever. And they snapped the photo. And this is the photo we have now. That's why
it gives us a nice view of your ear.
that's why I'm like grilling them, because I was like, really? We're gonna sing the song again? Oh man, that's so funny. This is like, wow. Do you remember sitting in this class listening? There was so many lectures. I wish they would just let us work on the car.
That was too many brain cells ago.
That is so funny.
Ron, I got a picture of that auto shop from 1957.
Really?
Guys working on a Vincent motorcycle, and they looked like fawns. You know, they had their jeans and their white shirt, and they rolled back. It looked like the one guy had like a pack of cigarettes in his shirt.
Oh, no way, really?
1957. That school's been around since. That's the second oldest high school in the state of California, San Diego High.
Really?
Yeah, our link letter went there.
I think it was built in 1887 or something like that.
Whoa, that's older than this school. This school is from 1926. And we got a couple of machines still from that year.
Hey, by the way, also I just noticed Manny Cisneros, he's our auto body instructor. He's on CSNRS channel. That's Manny. So he's our newest auto body instructor with San Diego Unified. So he's
cool. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going? How are you?
Good, dude. Good. Yeah, glad you joined in. One of my good friends, Tony Santana, he did auto body in Santana High School forever, and then he just recently retired. But there's not a lot of auto body guys around, so that's great you're doing it.
Yeah. I think Ben Sakura took over that, right?
You know, I don't know who took over, but okay. I'm glad someone
Ben
did. I know that school was always chipping away at like getting rid of programs and stuff.
Yeah, they kept it. Yeah, it's a good program. Ben's really turning it around over there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, and he's doing welding and because he's a body guy, a collision guy, so he's doing a lot of collision stuff, and he's killing it over there.
What part of San Diego is your auto body shop?
Mine's in Southeast San Diego.
Is that where the school is?
Yeah, Morse High School.
Where is Southeast San Diego? I mean, what community?
Skyline.
Oh, Skyline. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, what you know about that? Helton and Federal.
Not much. I'm not from there.
No, when I was stationed in San Diego, that's where I lived.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't really hang out there, so I don't know. I know they had a lot of history, but
Yeah.
I don't really.
I try to stay away from
This
there.
guy grew up in that neighborhood.
There you go.
Carl
There
knows
you
what's
go.
up.
There you go. Yeah, I'm not keen to it. I don't know.
Chicago Bulls went to high school there.
Yeah, it's all the same to me, bro. Ghetto's the same. I don't care what state or city you're in.
The hood's the hood. Hey, quick question for you.
Tony Santana's wife actually works with my wife.
Oh, no kidding. She was doing the buses, right?
Yep, my wife works for Lakeside Unified. My daughter drives a bus, and my wife's a bus aide.
Oh, no kidding. Yes, Holly.
Yep.
Yeah, Holly. I can't. It's amazing. You meet Holly, you wouldn't know, but she drives like She drove a 40-foot bus for like 40 years. It's unbelievable.
Dude, my daughter weighs like 97 pounds, and she likes driving the 53-foot bus.
Oh wow.
Dude, Holly's total badass. Like, they like drive through the desert. They got a place up in the high desert, by the Golden Acorn, you know. And and they got the whole car collection out there. Just like Tony's all his whole car collection's up there. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tony took an MPV, a Mazda MPV minivan, and he made it look like a BMW. And the people from BMW came to some event he was doing, and they were asking each other when this prototype got out.
Dude, he predicted the entire like SUV craze, because he did it by he put a BMW grafted nose on like a minivan, and he made it look
MPV,
like
right?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yep, and the guys from BMW completely thought it was a BMW prototype that had somehow got out of their control. They wanted to know how he got a hold of it.
Oh my God, that's really funny.
And he's like, "I built it." And they're like, "What?" and he had to show them that it was a Mazda minivan and not a BMW.
I'm trying to find a photo of it, but this is the kind of crazy stuff he would do. Let me pull it up. I have some photos from back in the day. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Do you remember this? He would do like a Subaru Jeep.
Oh, I remember working on that. I aligned that car.
No kidding. Dude, isn't that funny? I remember I snagged this photo because I was like, wow, when are we going to ever see this car again?
He just made some crazy stuff, but he had like just a ridiculous amount of just raw steel and metal. Matter of fact, I got some from him when they made him clean up his shop.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
So he was building all kinds of craziness.
What you call it? Look at this thing. Like, Eddie, you think this thing could be electric? It's so cool, man. Look at this. You flip the top, and it's a platform for camping. So you don't have to camp on the dirt. And it's got like coolers and all kinds of pockets. There's like all this stuff all over the place.
I dig it.
I like
No,
that.
that's cool.
Dude.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. Hey, dude, I'm all into weird cars, chopping them up. I mean, gosh, I own the Tesla Mino.
So is that?
Yeah, that's right.
In his shop.
Dude, that's right. You were like the first one with a like a Tesla pickup, which they're still trying to work on.
Well, let me ask the body shop. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I'm terrible at names.
Manny?
Manny.
Yeah.
Hey, Manny, I've been talking to Greg about this. I got this
The Tesla Mino.
the Tesla Mino. Let's just put it that way. It's exactly what it sounds like.
Can you pull up a picture of it?
Yeah,
Ron?
yeah, I got you. I got you. Give me a sec. Yeah, go ahead.
Tesla Mino for that one.
Yeah. But we took a Tesla, we chopped it up, we turned it into a pickup truck, and it's like 90% there.
Yeah.
I mean, all the structure's done. I drive it. It's my daily driver.
Yeah.
But she needs to be helped a little bit. I mean, it's got like, the front bumper's kind of falling off of it a little bit. It needs some love and attention.
The hood came
Yeah.
up. And mile an hour.
I got a new hood for it. The hood did come up at 45 miles an hour. It's a fun, cool,
Yeah, that's
looking
cool.
car.
Yeah.
I got new body panels for it. I got a new bumper. I got a new roll panel. If the kids at school want to take this on as a project, I'll donate money to get it done. I mean, if I just don't have time to sit in the back of my shop doing body work on it. I mean, it's 90% there, and it just has to be cleaned up and look nice.
Yeah.
That Corvette stole my idea, but that roll cage isn't actually in it. That's out of Snow's truck, but
It looked cool.
it looked cool. They're like, hey, let's put the roll cage in the back of the Tesla Mino. But all of it's been welded, all of it's finished up. It's all watertight, ready to go. It just needs some.
And it ran 88 miles an hour in that 8.
Yeah, and we were a half battery pack, so we could run much faster. But it just needs some TLC, and I'm down to donate to the school to help with this project and hook the kids up with some gift certificates or whatever. I mean, I don't know if you're willing to do that, but we're looking.
Yeah. Probably not this year. Maybe next year or something. Yeah. Because right now they just started me on this quarter system, and I'm getting a whole new batch of kids in January.
No worries. As I said, the
Yeah.
meeting's almost over, so you let me know, and we'll help donate. See, look, I'm even pulling a FedEx truck with that thing.
Oh wow. Damn. Cool.
No.
Put the feet down.
Yeah, I was so powerful they had to put the feet down. Actually, someone parked a FedEx truck down the street from us. I'm like, I got to get a photo off of this.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I see. Moves washers and dryers.
Yeah. Wow.
How many Teslas do you know?
It's even in urban camouflage.
I think
I did
the only
that.
person I know that owns a Tesla is Omar.
Yeah. Omar's a good friend of mine.
That's it, yeah. Mhm.
Oh,
But
Omar, he just got his Tesla, right?
Yeah.
He did
Yeah,
good.
he got it. Yeah, he's got a white Model 3.
Yeah, but he can't put a washer and dryer in the back of his. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is such a cool car, man. They sell kits in Massachusetts. It's I think the brother or cousin of Factory 5 Racing.
Yeah.
And they do like a pickup truck kit for Volkswagens and all kinds of cars. I'm surprised they haven't done a Tesla kit yet.
Yeah.
Who's stupid enough to
They
chop
do
one up?
them out here. They do them out here in El Cajon too. There's a lot down the street that does
Hmm.
all kinds of crazy conversions.
Oh, no kidding, really?
Oh, tweakers, fool.
It's El Cajon, man. All you
El
need
Cajon
is a
for all the
garage.
tweakers.
All you need to do is a garage and a mound of dope,
They'll do all kinds of shit for you.
right?
You see the shopping carts out here, man.
The guy that-
Alcohol's expensive now, man. It's not what it was, right?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
The guy on YouTube that did an LS swap in a Tesla.
Oh yeah, I seen that too. Yep.
Oh,
Rich,
yeah,
that's your buddy Rich.
Rich. Yeah, Rich he's up in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he put ALS in the-
Hey, Ryan, thanks for joining. How you doing? Oh, you got to unmute it and turn horizontal. It's probably better.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. How you
Doing
doing?
well. Doing very well, thank you.
You all right?
Good to see you guys, man.
Good. You too.
Nice. Thanks for joining. Yeah, this is Shop Class Podcast. I'm Mr. G. I'm a shop teacher in New Jersey, but to unite all the shop teachers and share ideas was exactly what just happened. We were talking about the Tesla Mino getting some facelift over there at a shop class. So we're here to share ideas and find out where you're from and stuff like that. So where do you teach?
I'm at two places. I'm at Mira Mesa High School in the mornings. I teach 4 periods over there, and then my afternoon and night classes at Miramar College. And I've been doing this for about 17. I think it's my 17th year.
No kidding. And I always reference the same guy just because he's a friend of mine. But I think, did Tony Santana teach at Miramar College as well? Or was
No, he
The
was
name's-
just at Santana.
okay. But he did some college stuff, I guess, a couple years back, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure.
What do you
At
teach
Miramar.
there?
General automotive at the high school, and then at the college, I teach everything but the transmission classes.
Got it. Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, welcome to the shop class. Yeah. So this is a place where we share ideas and talk about stuff. And we got Greg on the line and Revolt Systems. So pretty cool. And then do you know Carl?
Yeah, very well. I know all these guys real good.
Oh, wow. And I was in
Yeah.
a class with Carl back in 2008. We were just reminiscing about the class. Unbelievable.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. So,
We were doing electric vehicles before electric vehicles were cool.
oh my God.
let's-
It was a hippie thing. It was very much a hippie thing. And the lead acid batteries on a Volkswagen Rabbit would get you about 40 miles, but probably 30.
Who
But it
was
worked.
the gentleman that was teaching that class? Because I snuck in there. I wasn't. I don't believe I was in.
Dr. Q.
That was
No, there
you.
was another guy from
Indianapolis.
San Diego.
Indianapolis. Yeah. John Caranapolis. Right.
No, that Mr. Q was from San Diego.
Yeah,
Caranopolis was the
Caranopolis
teacher at San Diego High
Okay.
School.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Dr.
so what-
Q. Yeah,
Did we do
and
that
that
at
car
City
is
High School?
actually. Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Can you show him that car? It's in your foyer right now. Are you on
Yeah,
your
I'll
phone?
walk- Yeah, I'll walk over there.
We have that car right here, right now.
Get
Just hold
out
on.
of here. Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah,
That's
Ryan's gonna show it to
crazy.
you. Ryan,
I
if you
tried
hold your
to,
phone
that's the
sideways-
same. That's the same car that we had at that class back in 08.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we're trying
God.
to figure out what to do with it.
Well, you
Oh,
could bring
you
it to
still have it.
Crawford. That's what I wanted to do. I was going to build it, but the people from risk management at the
It's right
district started-
there.
right.
Yeah, can you turn it sideways?
Yeah, turn it sideways.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh
Yeah, the
my
people
God.
at risk management didn't want us to have that.
This is crazy. I
got the
always
magazines
wondered
in there.
what happened to this thing.
Yeah, it's sitting at Miramar College.
Wow.
I don't even know if this thing how it even opens. No, I can't. Open
It's a clamshell. It's a clamshell.
It's a clamshell. It goes
other
front
way?
to back.
Yeah, it's
front
become
to
right
back.
there, right? I can't open it.
know.
Whatever.
Dude, what a treat. I had no idea I'd see that car. That's crazy. I thought it was it's got the same setup. Look, those are the original batteries.
They didn't do anything with it. They moved it to Miramar and parked it.
Oh my God, dude, there's the charger. It's got the relays with the push button and oh my God, this is all the same. Look at there's the shunt. Oh my God. I cannot believe I'm looking at this. That's crazy. Man, yeah, dude.
So
You
Ron,
can
Ron,
use it.
I want to hear
Wait.
about maybe if Eddie can talk about how they came about building the Little Giant, and because it's a pretty interesting story, the history of the car and how they did. I don't know if Eddie, if I could put you on the spot to talk about the Little Giant and how it came about and how you guys did it. What, in about 4 months' time was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we were talking to Rick Vesco over at the Team Vesco. It's to give you guys a little background on them. They've been on the salt since 1933, so before the dinosaurs were alive. So they know Bonneville very well and how that works. They have probably the most decorated plaques of any race team out there. They're like the land speed guys. They also have the world's fastest car, wheel driven, which did 503 miles an hour, over 5,500 horsepower turbine engine. It's wheel driven. So they know what they're doing. So they approached us through a friend of my father's and said, "Hey, look, we've done this land speed stuff. We heard you're doing electric stuff. We have this car sitting around for the next couple of years that we're not using currently in our racing circuit. You want to put one of your electric jobs in it?" And I said, "Sure. What do we need for horsepower?" And we kind of looked up some numbers of what the current electric world record was, which was 341 miles an hour. And that was made by the Buckeye Bullet for the Ohio State University. And I asked them, "Hey guys, what kind of horsepower are we looking at to get the car to beat that record?" Because that car has done 341 miles an hour, 339 in the past under internal combustion. And it's had everything. It started in 1957. This car was originally built, that you're looking at the screen, was built in 1957. Now there's only a few parts left on it from the original build. It's been stretched, narrowed, widened. It's gone through a lot of different reiterations over the last, since 1957. And then when we got the vehicle, it had a Chevy small block in it under nitro, and it did 339 miles an hour. And we had the 341 on our chopping block. And after running some numbers, I realized if I used two motors, I could get to that speed without a problem. And in 4 months, we picked that car up. From the time we picked that car up to the time it was on the salt was like 4 months and change.
Wow.
And then we never even tested the car. It never came off the trailer. That car was delivered to us. It's on a 35-foot trailer. The car is like 27 feet long. It's not exactly easy to maneuver, so we just left it on the trailer. We engineered this entire drivetrain system, batteries, contactor boxes, full electronics, everything in 4 months. I had a great team with us. Here's some of our team sitting here. Also had people from Vesco's team that really know how to put things together. So I had a good buddy of theirs, Greg Peak, help me with the belt drive system. What I did is I took two Model S Ludicrous motors. I machined them all down, and I stacked them on top of themselves with a 6-inch Gates blower belt that Gates belts helped me with. I sent them my center to centers. I sent them my RPM and torque, and then they sent me back a schematic of this is how you need to build your pulley system. I took that pulley system and gave it to a buddy of mine named Greg Peak. Greg Peak has a machine shop. He machined all the pulleys. We had someone else broach us out all the adapters for the motors. That was actually Mark Williams. He did all that work. And then it all came back to me. And then I did all the CAD work with a couple of guys here, put it all together, and then literally tested it on the trailer. We pulled the back wheels off the ground with a forklift the night before we left the Bonneville, ran it up to about 200 miles an hour just in wheel speed. And we're like, I don't know. I hope it works. My brother was there. He just shook his head at me. He's like, you better pray this works. And the first time I saw the car roll under its own power was on the starting line at Bonneville, and it's on shakedown and run. It ran 284 on its first shakedown run. It's almost 300 miles an hour.
Wow.
We had some battery issues with it the first run we had, so we ended up taking it back home. Luckily, Speed Week was over, but we had World Finals coming up after that, and we put a new battery system in it that we redesigned, what, like 3 weeks? 3 weeks from start to finish. And we ran that car. Snow did a lot of work on that battery. Reran that car, and all we did is change the batteries, and it went from, 295 miles an hour to 300 and almost 60 miles an hour. And we slaughtered the national and world record with that run, and that was done in 4.5, 5 months.
And that's actually how I.
Officially
Yeah, that's actually
the fastest electric car on the planet.
Fast electric vehicle on the planet.
yeah. At the
At
time,
the
it was our
time, yeah.
fastest EV. We had a plane beat us like 6 months later. By
Rolls
about,
Royce beat us by like 10 mile an hour with an airplane. That's cheating though.
they had wings.
But no, these guys were grinding on stuff and working like way into the night every time I left. And I'm like, I was nearby, and every time I'd pass by, these guys were hammering on something or grinding on something. I'm like, what are they doing over there? There's like a race car. I want to work on it. So I started giving, a couple hours in the evenings, and that's how this came to be.
Yeah, we met Natty because he was working next door, and he's a gearhead and loves this stuff. And he actually took his first knock at Bonneville. Last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
2 years
Right.
ago. Yeah, I'm like, hey, I
He
got
broke 2 world records.
an electric motorcycle, and it's low hanging fruit. Just he wants to go to Bonneville and run it eventually on a different, faster bike. But I'm like, hey, look, get some experience on a bike. Run one of my electric Altas, and he ended up walking away with 2 records behind him. So this guy's got 2 Bonneville records behind him. He's got more than I do.
That's awesome, man. I'll tell you what, if anyone here, I'm sure a lot of people on this call have been to Bonneville. I got lucky to go, and I got to tell you, it's just like the movie World's Fastest Indian. It is really epic. It's like something different out there. I mean, you really feel the energy of all the really cool, creative people out there, and all the energy of trying to break a record, and the effort put into it, and the scramble. It's awesome. That is super cool.
Yeah, Bonneville is a very, rewarding place to be. It's just look at all the different innovation and design, and all the horsepower and the techniques. It's really a unique and fun place to be. The people are awesome too. That's the cool thing, because everybody's really, really nice.
I was at the Bub event at Bonneville, and that's for motorcycles. And there was this was either 2011 and 12 or 12 and 13. I can't remember. I think it was 11 and 12. And there was a electric powered Streamline, considered a motorcycle, but it was a sidecar, but which is basically 3 wheels. 1 wheel was out there, and it was considered a sidecar. And I think they were approaching, in the mid 150s to 200, probably in the 169 or something like that. And that was electric powered. And I don't know much about it. We were there with a Vincent Streamliner. There was 2 Vincent engines that were total 3 liters. It was blown on alcohol, and that was a sidecar deal. And but we're there. There was a lot of interesting things innovation that they do there. So,
What Vincent motors are you running?
pardon me?
What Vincent motors were you running?
He ran his own. Well, they were Vincent's. I guess they were I want to say 1952, 53, 54, and they're 1,000 cc's. But then he changed the cranks and put 2-inch diameter crankshafts in it. And these 2 engines were put basically grafted together with 2 crankshafts and a gear assembly. And I think they had 1 engine firing at a slightly different timing event than the front engine.
Interesting.
Pardon me?
Interesting.
Yeah, if you look at Vincent Streamliner, Lamke liner, LAMBKY liner, he's and now he's actually got the power plant out, and he's building a ride-on bike, and it's no longer blown. It'll be normally aspirated, but it's 3 liters, and it's Vincent. And I don't know. I mean, there's some problematic things with it, but I was there to support him. His son and I went to high school together. And his son was on Facebook saying, "Hey, we're going to Bonneville. Anybody want to go?" And I go, "I'll go." So I took the flight out to Salt Lake, and then drove out from Salt Lake, and was there, and it was kind of cool. And a sidebar to that is that they got that airport out there. That movie Con Air was filmed at that location.
Yep.
We got photos of us on that plane.
Yeah, we sat on that plane till the wee hours of the morning.
Is this it?
Wendover, I guess it's called Wendover.
Yeah, it's Wendover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was kind of a cool deal to go out there, and it was kind of neat too, because I rented a RAV4, and I'm driving in the salt, and there's nothing but salt as far as you can see in every direction, and the speed on the RAV4 crept up, and I'm just driving along like it's 25 miles an hour and down the block, and I looked down the speedometer, I'm doing 95, and it felt like I was sitting here at home on my chair, because there was no reference to speed. There was just you weren't passing anything. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So
So Steve, it's
amazing.
interesting you brought that up because Scott, the driver for Peter Dima's team, mentioned the same thing, that there's no reference of speed.
There is not.
And so even though they're approaching 300 miles an hour, they have no idea. It's really, really, really odd. He doesn't really know where he's at. He thinks he's doing 100, but he's closer to 300.
It's
Yeah.
not experience.
It was weird.
Uh,
we are unboxing the One Color Smart Keyboard
you want to
piano.
tell Greg?
Hey, Ron,
Yeah.
remember that?
Oh wait, let me see. Hold on, I can't see.
I'm trying.
Oh,
I'm trying
yeah!
to do it,
That
trying
was
not to do it to glare.
that was like the like the graduation.
Yeah, that's a little plaque thing. I just found it on my shelf in here.
That's it. C2E, C2T, right? It was
Yeah,
like
It was the 4th annual, so yeah, C2E2 or EC2T.
Like C3PO or something, huh?
yeah, but it was
Right.
like for teachers by teachers or something like that. It was meant for teachers to take the class.
Right.
And it's funny because I found Mr. Q just by a whim. I was I wanted to learn about electric cars, and I kind of was into them since I don't know, as a kid playing with RC cars. And a friend of mine, real practical guy, he wasn't a mechanic or anything. He's like, "Why don't you just type it into Google? I'm sure there's a class." And I was like, "No." And Google was brand new. Yeah, I was like, "There's no class." So I typed it in, and this YouTube channel came up. It was 06, and that was the first year I think YouTube was even there. And then it came up, and there was this guy driving around the white cabriolet. They didn't even finish putting the windshield back in, and they just drove around like the body. I can't find the video. It's down. I don't know where it is. But then they had the class, and it was sold out for 07. I couldn't get in. And that was normal back then to like wait a whole other year. So then I waited 07, 08, and then I got in the class 08. And then, man, we almost didn't finish that car. Remember, I was like advocating for the thing. I had an argument with Mr. Q. I was like, "Look, Q, I came 3,000 miles away. We're getting this car on the road. I don't care what happens."
I'm riding in this car.
Dude, I am taking a ride in this car, man.
I think I remember that. I think I remember that discussion.
Yeah. Now I feel bad. He's like an old guy. He's such the nicest guy ever. And I got so mad. But it was because like we were 25 people working every day, and we had to argue so we could work at night to get that thing done. There was a little dispute going on because they had 2 cars in the bay, and they spent some time.
There was 2 Volkswagens, and then there was another car, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I forget what car that was, because me and you were elbow deep in both of the Volkswagens.
Yeah, it was the Spider that they just showed.
Is that what it was?
They found it. Yeah, it was the Spider they had, and then I don't know what else they had there, but yeah. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. That was pretty cool. But getting back to Bonneville for a sec, what about the Eddie? Can you explain the classes? Because I think there's like an E1, an E2, and an E3. You guys have the E3 class, is that right?
Yeah. So in cars, they're going to be expanding obviously in classes, because this is probably put together back in the lead acid days where you just added more weight by adding more battery and more power. So it made sense, 10, 15, 20 years ago to do that. Now it doesn't make sense. We're all on lithium now. Not metaphorically speaking. We're not actually on lithium.
Yeah.
We're not that high. But
Laudanum.
So what they did is they classified him by weight class. So his E1 was, I think, under 1,000 pounds.
This way.
Yeah, so class 1, I'm looking at the rule book right now. Class 1 under 1,099 pounds. Class E2 is 1,100 to 2,200 pounds, and that's where Mr. G and I met. We did the Electroliner with DB West that year, and that was
awesome.
Yeah, it was great. We had a great time. We actually beat a record that weekend. A lot of crazy drama. 2 of them. That's right. We got a lot of drama out of that one.
Yeah.
And
a lot of drama.
Yeah. And then the class 3 is anything over 2,200 pounds on up. So basically the unlimited heavyweight class. So that's what we went for as a class 3, which is basically anything over 2,200 pounds. We actually scaled in at 38 and change on the scales when that car was done and finished. So we're almost pushing 4,000 pounds. It's a big car. It's a lot going on in that car.
Wow. Wait, now tell me again the E1. What? That's 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, 1099 and under.
Which it sounds like a lot, but then you look at their stipulations for how thick the roll cage has to be, and the fire suit, and the dual parachutes, and all of the restraints and everything else. That weight goes away fast. You've not got a lot to work. You've maybe got 350 pounds of powertrain if you're lucky.
And that's not much. And then for he's a motorcycle guy, so he's running electric.
Motorcycles run more conventional classes.
Yeah.
So the electric stuff is just E1, E2, E3, and at El Mirage they've just opened up Lakester for electric too. Because the more competition you get, the more the classes break out into different things. With motorcycles though, it's just the engine class. So you run your streamlining class, so open or partial streamlined or whatever you want to run. And then the engine class is just Omega. And Omega just means anything that isn't, a thermodynamic cycle. So if you're running nuclear power, if you're running steam power, all of this stuff is just other. And that's where electric runs. So sorry, I feel sorry for the steam guys who might have records back in the day that have no chance of competition anymore. But we ran ETS Omega this year. And before that, we ran M Omega, which is modified production.
Where do they keep all the stats on that? Do you have to buy the physical? Okay, you have to get the book.
Yeah,
right.
$10. That's what it costs to get into land speed racing. It's
$10, and in here you got every class.
Honestly, for something with that many, classes, the whole back of the book, this much is advertising.
That's the old book.
Records.
That's the new one.
In rule book as far as things go.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
That's
Matt. Why don't you tell them? Can you talk about the motorcycle record you're going after and how fast you need to go to be the fastest motorcycle in the world?
So the current SCTA record for electric motorcycle is 215.9. That was set by Jim Hugahide, the driver of Nebulous Theorem 3.
And the Electroliner when we ran over.
And the Electroliner. Yeah. So he's a good buddy of ours, which is nice. It's a friendly competition. But we've got the power to do it. We just got to make sure we can put the traction down because we've got a giant motorcycle. We're pushing a huge hole through the air. We're pushing probably twice the air out of the way that the little giant did. Our frontal area. If you look at
Ron, I texted you a couple photos of the motorcycle.
Oh.
And Matt, I don't know if you can see them.
Send it to my email because I'm inside. There's no reception. I'm in the dungeon here.
28 feet.
Yeah, I want to. So I remember seeing it last time I was there. As at the same bike with the enormous sumo motor or whatever.
Yeah, it's the UQM bus motor. Yeah, it's got 650 pound-feet of torque at the shaft.
Oh my God!
It's got a different inverter now because we blew the first one up. Our maiden voyage, we took off from the line and roll under the gas and just nobody's home.
You mean throttle?
There's nothing there. Yeah, throttle.
There's no gas.
No gas.
They almost ran over you.
So even the chase truck, you got to have support vehicle. And I take off from the line, and he's expecting me to just shoot off because El Mirage is a short track. It's like a drag race. So I take off, and nothing happens when I twist the throttle, and he's in my van behind me, gaining fast.
Yeah. Oh my God!
So that's the game you play. You go home and you lick your wounds and you fix it and you try again. And we've gone out and run 172 on a shakedown run. So we know that we've we've easily got the power for this. It's
And-
just a matter of keeping the bike in a straight line and making sure we've got traction.
He had a lot of throttle left in that thing, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
said I pushed it. You said you pushed it a little bit at that point, and it just kept moving.
You could spin the tire at 170, no problem. No problem.
And I had the pleasure to help Matt at the last race, and it was pretty interesting. The startup procedure and all the different quirks
It's
with
good.
the bike.
A world away from the stuff you've been doing with Ardema, yeah.
Is this
It's
the same bike
definitely-
right here?
Yeah,
That's it.
Got it. Awesome. This is
So
wild.
Dustier now.
When I was at the Salt, the person driving that streamlined 3-wheel side hack was a female. Do you guys know who that might have been?
Oh,
Yeah, her name
blonde,
is
blonde hair with
The Canadian chick, right?
Amy. Amy is her first name. She
Yeah,
got
I
a
don't
record
remember.
last
That's her-
weekend
it's
when
all-
Matt was there.
Yep.
Deal.
Oh,
it-
Canadian girl.
It's
That's
the
right.
same girl that was out at El Mirage a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, so her name is
So
Amy, I think, and she got the record last weekend or 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
that was really,
Oh, Red
really nice
Baron.
lady. Sweet,
was she
sweet.
driving a 3-wheeler? A side
Yeah,
hack?
the bike's called the Red Baron, right?
Red Baron. That's it.
Not the electric.
Yeah, streamliner though, right?
No.
The bike she was on?
An El Mirage, yes, but they talked about an electric one, right?
Oh no, I don't know about electric.
Oh.
I'm talking about
Electric.
the Mirage.
Streamliner.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Okay.
Put it in the chat and I'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago, but I mean, it's like she was,
Saline electric.
or something. And I don't know.
Saline Electric, it's called. We just found it in rule book.
AGN1, I guess, was the brand of the bike. If it was 10 years ago,
Backwards
that's
on the
it.
screen.
Oh, ha.
Saline Electric, SCS Omega,
The bu-
AGN1.
Was that the
Okay.
Bubby? Probably 2012, 2013, maybe 2012, 11, and 12. I think.
2012. Right, is that the date?
Yep.
12. 8/12. So August 12th, 2012.
So that still stands.
What did you go? 160 something?
98.055.
There's the disconnect.
98
think
miles
so,
an hour. Was it?
Saline Electric and
Dude, you gotta go.
Yep.
what's her name?
Hey, gentlemen, hey, I got to take off. Great talking to you guys, and I will see you guys next time.
All right,
All right.
Snow. Thanks a lot, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good, brother. Good seeing
Okay.
you.
I gotta drop off in a few minutes too, but
No problem.
Finish this up.
Yeah, this is super cool. I mean, I think the whole thing here is that we're sharing ideas, we're getting people excited. I think that Porsche that's sitting in that whose shop was that? Greg
Miramar
knows, right?
College.
Yeah, Miramar College.
Dude, you got to rescue that thing and put a Tesla swap in there or something. And then we got the Volkswagen that thing's being rescued, and then geez, there's so many cool things going on here. This is awesome. So
Well,
when
then Omar and I also have a well, Omar, do you have your Switch Lab car yet?
oh,
I don't think he's
So
on.
the 3-wheel things?
I don't think he's on here yet.
Yeah. So I have a Switch Lab car that I'm trying to get done.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, there you are.
yeah,
Oh, hey. Sorry, I'm driving my Tesla and I haven't done a video chat while driving yet. So trying to orient myself. I bought myself a Tesla for my birthday with a little inspiration from Eddie B there. So,
nice.
so yeah, we have a Switch Lab vehicle. In fact, I have a mission. I'm trying to finish it by the end of next week is my goal. I'm really pushing my students to get it done. We're balancing batteries right now. And it's a 3-wheel vehicle, so I think it registers as a motorcycle. And I don't know if anybody else knows about the Switch Lab cars, but it's a pretty neat training
I've got
tool.
one.
Yeah, so that's fun. And then driving a Tesla now, it's kind of neat technology. Although I do think it's more expensive than I initially had thought. And then just the power consumption is probably more than most people realize.
Well, get your
so
foot
it's-
out of it.
Well, no,
yeah. Once you're going over 70 miles an hour, if you're cranking like 80 or 90, the estimates are wrong with the power. That's why you're pushing the wind hard. But
Yeah,
well,
Get your foot out of it.
so
Yeah.
I'm running right now about 250 watt hours per mile. So I'm getting about 4 miles per kilowatt.
oh, that's
That's
pretty
good.
good.
Pretty good,
That's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, so I got a long commute. I just, I hit the self-driving mode and just let it go. But I've made it from my house in North County, Vista, to Hollywood and back on one charge. And then I tried to do El Mirage, but I left early and there was no traffic, so I did like 90 the whole way. So I had to stop at a supercharger. But I think I'll be able to do 300 miles on a full charge, driving conservatively.
Hell, I get 200 miles out of a tank of gas. So, doing it too bad.
I mean,
Right.
I drive a
I
hybrid
got a
vehicle.
3-gallon tank, yeah.
I mean, I drive a hybrid Isuzu. It burns gas and oil.
There you go.
Well, Omar, you bring up a very, very good point. And this is a conversation I've had with you over the years. Omar and I have known each other since high school. When he was buying his Tesla, I said, Omar, I just want to kind of give you an idea of how much power you're going to be consuming. You're going to be going through I'm going to use San Diego because I kind of know a lot about where we live. San Diego, the average medium household probably takes about 550 kilowatts a month to run an average household. So 550 kilowatts. When you get an electric car, you are going to more than double your consumption of power. So my wife, she drives, basic wife stuff. She does work, but she works from home. She goes to the office one day a week, just basic groceries, picking up kids, helping me out. I drive, whatever. She goes to about 630 kilowatts a month. That's more than the average household can actually take down under, just regular. I have 3 kids. In my old house, we were using about 550, 600 kilowatts. So now you add another Tesla to it. So you just doubled the amount of power that you're consuming. And on top of that mess, what if I want to get an electric car for daddy? Well, now we tripled our bill. My 125 watt panel that was designed in 1989 isn't going to be able to handle that at all. I know, because I just rented my old house out and we didn't really charge from the house much because I knew better, because I know our panel can't take it. Well, my tenants just called me about 2-3 weeks ago complaining that the lights were flickering in the house.
Hey, the wall's smoking.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I know they have a Model X. And well, I went out there with my good buddy Doug, and he opens up the panel, and literally the panel was almost on fire. Whoa. He handed me the main breaker, and he got there about 20-30 minutes before I did. And he goes, I pulled this main breaker out about 30 minutes ago when I first got here. Here, hold it. And the thing was almost too hot to touch after about 25 minutes of sitting on a trash can. Whoa. Okay. Just incredible amounts of energy. There was a video that just came out recently about a guy talking about, well, it's just like your dryer. See, a dryer is a 50 amp circuit, and the 50 amp circuit that comes with your Tesla is the same because they're both 50 amps.
It's like running a dryer flat out at full power for 8 hours.
It's like the dryers cycle on and off. And I actually screenshotted a photo of this. Because my house is all solar, I make my own power and everything else. I ran my dryer and it shows little spikes going up and down, and I calculated only used about like 3 to 4 kilowatts over like an hour and change, versus my car is like pulling 8 kilowatts out of that line full time, and like everything is getting hot. So my house, I designed myself, so I put in the circuitry for it. I'm off grid. I designed everything to do this kind of stuff. The average home, my old rental is a perfect example. Omar, you live in a typical home, really nice place. You have solar. Actually, you're probably above what most people have. And look at the power consumption that you're running into. People don't realize that these things take a tremendous amount of electricity. When you talk to most people, they think electricity just comes out of the wall. Well, you plug it into the wall, right? Well, yeah, but that has to come from somewhere. It's usually coming.
You don't see it.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And sorry to get crazy here, but this push for this electric stuff, and hey, look, I got my money invested in this. I got a lot of money in stocks and Tesla too. I want this to work. It's not going to happen in the next 20 years. It's going to take a long time to upgrade the grids. It's a great technology. It's wonderful. It's not saving the environment. We could stop that. But eventually it's a very good thing to go to. We make more torque, we make more power, we make it more efficiently, we have very little mechanical losses. The recipe is amazing. But to make a good stew, you got to let it simmer for a very, very long time. You can't just throw your ingredients in the pot and come back 15 minutes later and go, it's done. No, it's just going to be a long haul, and it's going to take a long time. It's great. And I'll get off my soapbox.
I think, yeah, the stigma of electric cars is going away fast. But it's.
Hey, I got to get off here, guys. I got some company here at my shop.
Oh, a good one.
I'll see you guys later. Okay.
Hey, thanks for the Teslamino.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people's applications, though, like for me, I take my van out to the desert to go race a motorbike. For me, electric doesn't work yet. So I think it's coming, but it's not coming as fast as some people want it to.
Hey, Ron, I just want to note that Ben just jumped on. He's also another auto body instructor for El Capitan, right? Or
it's Santana High School in
Santana
Santana.
High.
Oh, so should I hit you up too?
Yeah, maybe you should hit him up. Andy.
I was friends
He's the
with
one who took over for Tony.
Yeah.
I took over for Tony. I'm on my third year now.
Bro, dude, I've been at that shop a million times. I'm friends with Tony Santana for years.
Oh, you got to come check it out. It's a little different. I did a little spring cleaning.
All right. Well, at least someone's doing something. You know, they were always chopping away, and he had such cool projects going on. I met him in the electric car class back in 2008, and every summer I would try and come out and spend at least a couple days or a week in San Diego, and then I would always go see Tony.
Yeah, well, I got an open door policy at my shop. Anybody ever wants to come check us out, see what we're doing?
Nice.
Help me be a better teacher. I have a lot of holes in my game. I was a structural steel repair technician for a lot of years.
Dude, Tony's still around, so if you ever need anything, he's still around.
It's tough. I've talked to Tony a few times. I know him a little bit. He's around. He's working at Jack Williams Auto Body on and off, doing some restoration stuff. But the whole school thing, and the site there, kind of soured at the end. So he hasn't. I've been inviting him by, and he doesn't. And I'm honestly doing a much different thing over there. We're doing. I wish I could change the name to like collision repair technology or something, because that's what my focus is: modern collision repair. Not
Ben, I can help you do that, buddy.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to have you. Did you attend? You attended our conference last year, right?
I was there last year. That was great.
Yeah. We got a meeting coming up in December, and I'll send you the information tomorrow. It's a planning meeting and it's an advisory meeting. I'd love to have you there.
I'll be there.
Yeah. We'll have to get you out for the whole day though, but we'll help you out. So.
Which day?
Look at
that.
Yeah, it's on the 12th.
Oh my God, there it is.
13th.
That was something Tony built in your shop.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's an incredible fabricator, man.
Oh,
wow, the shop is completely different.
You still got the Piranha, the iron worker?
That was gone before I got there.
They threw out everything, man.
All the bitch and fabrication stuff was long gone before I ever walked through the door.
Wow.
And it sends a shiver down my spine to think about how cheaply they got rid of it.
What about for paint, the booth?
The paint booth is there. I've put a lot of time and my own into getting that thing operating, halfway decently.
You got rid of the Piranha, man. I want one of those.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff, it was great equipment, but it would have been lost on me. I am not a fabricator. I was, like I said, I was structural steel collision repair technician. So it's sheet metal, it's MIG welding, plug welds. We have a resistance welder. We have a silicon bronze MIG welder. We're getting into rivet bonding, welding aluminum, body shop style, not like TIG. No one TIG welds in a body shop. It's all wire feed stuff. So I'm trying to. I'm trying to put people into shops in the industry that gave me literally everything I've ever had. My dad died when I was 19. I got $3,000 cash and a couple of jalopies that didn't run, and I luckily had a job in a body shop, and I was actually on my 5th or 6th week of Cuyamaca College for auto tech, and I dropped out of that and just stayed in the collision repair center. I worked for Greg Carter, Carter Collision Service, and I was there all the way until I quit the industry and came to basically. Well, I left and did restoration for 2 years before I started teaching, but it was basically one company, and I started out washing cars over the summer and became a structural steel tech, which is kind of a dinosaur thing. When I jumped on, you guys were talking electric. It's all aluminum. It's all rivet bonding. The structural steel stuff, it's still there, and there's still plenty of it. It's going to be around forever, but you have to know. We were watching a video today. I don't know if you could tell by my voice. My whole Thanksgiving break was laying on the couch sick. I'm hardly recovered at the moment. But
well, let me just say this, Benjamin. We're glad you're here.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to steer the ship different from Tony. We were just asking about Tony because I'm a big fan, but I'm really glad you're there. Yeah. I think it's important to have autonomy. You know, when I got to this shop, they were just handing out paperwork and they were parking cars here. And I kicked the old veterans. I said, hey, guys, if I'm going to do this, you guys can't use this as a parking lot. So I had kicked them out. And they were like, you know what? You're right. You're right. And they gave me a chance, and I steered it in a different way than the old guy was running it. So you should have autonomy, and you should do it your way. And that's really good. But it's the most important thing is that you're continuing to offer this to people and you're growing your career. That's awesome. So you're helping people, you know?
Yeah. And that's, I'm a roundabout product of that class in a way, because so I'm the third ever teacher of that class. It was Clarence Scheidel, then Tony Santana, then me. And
Tony taught it for like, 40 years or 50 years?
Yeah. All the guys that I learned from coming up in the body shop, the guy that owned the shop, they all went to Santana. They all took Clarence Scheidel's class and they became shop owner. Were you there, Carl? You took that class?
So I didn't take any of the auto body. I was with Jake Bagnell over in the other auto shop.
Another old legend.
I was working for East County Alignment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I learned from all that. I'm literally a product of that. If that shop class didn't exist, I wouldn't have never been in the industry. Begin with.
Let me interrupt for a second. I just want to talk to Revolt for a sec before you guys go. I really, Eddie, the English wheelman. I forget.
The Wheeling Welshman, man.
Matt,
he's famous.
I blew it.
English
Welshman.
Oh, he will shoot you for that.
I know that's not a good thing. I'm sorry.
Fighting words.
All right, I appreciate you guys coming in, and just to react to the rant about definitely, like, when it comes to electrics, I think there's a huge opportunity, because now the shop teachers and all the innovators and entrepreneurs and engineers can provide the fuel so you can do the off-grid systems that go with the car. Tier 4 Solar was out there on the salt with us, and they were providing the charging, which was so cool.
Amazing.
What's that?
Amazing. And that solar trailer powered my home as I finished building it, because I'm off grid.
I'm going to try and pull that up. But I did an off-grid system over the summer in Taylorville, Illinois with a teacher, and I'm doing one here with the kids. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity, but I agree. I don't want the government telling me to go electric. I want to go electric because I want to, and it grows because of consumer demand and innovators, and so, I'm with you on that rant.
Let it take its own, it'll do it at its own pace.
Yeah. Exactly.
I like that there was pressure on automotive manufacturers to make this stuff move really fast. But at the same time, you're not going to buy one because someone said they're a good idea. You're going to buy one because of your needs and your wants.
And then only manufacturer that's actually profiting on this at all is Tesla, because Ford just announced that their cars are costing them like $30,000. They're losing money on it. Honda was some other company. I was Honda, and I forgot. They abandoned their small cars now.
Well, even the hybrid stuff is coming along fantastically. Yeah. That new Prius, I hate to say it. I hate to be the guy who's like, the Prius is good, but like, he looks pretty slick.
So that trailer,
Matt, I'm all over that Prius.
I knew you would be.
that trailer is right now parked in my driveway. It's used as supplemental power because we're about to finish our inspection. So that ran my house for about 6 months. And now it is a charging station for my wife's Tesla.
And the sun tracking on that thing is genius.
Yeah, it actually tracks the sun
So
and those panels move.
Doug set this thing up, those giant panels on the side track the sun, and he did it with one linear actuator.
Yep.
And just a bunch of linkages.
Yeah, he used popsicle sticks to make it work on his table, and then it literally sits there and tilts through the sun every 5 minutes. You hear it go, it creaks and it tracks.
You guys know that the IBEW, the International Electrical Workers, you know, they got a solar trailer that they bring around. I don't know
No.
if you guys knew that.
No, I haven't seen that.
Ask Greg. Greg actually set up a few field trips to bring, you know, not just auto shop classes there, but, you know, engineering and some other classes to their site, which is
Yeah,
close by
it's just-
Crawford.
It's a trailer that is used as a trainer. So it basically simulates putting solar panels on the roof of a house and making all the connections, but it's at ground level, so nobody has to be on the roof to learn how to do it. And they use that. A lot of our engineering, automotive, construction classes have gone through that module, and it's pretty fun. It's hands-on.
Cool. Yeah, this was that he was charging a Tesla out here, and you could see that it's shaped and like already tilting for the sun. That's Doug. He was explaining it, and we were making a joke because you know, they're going to tax everything.
Yeah,
but
there it is.
they can't tax the sun. You know.
Hey, don't give him any
They'll find
stupid
a way.
ideas.
They'll say
They'll
that's
find
too
a way.
loud.
my building inspector the other day came by, and you know, he goes, "Do you plan on going on the well out here?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, you better do it quick." I said, "Why?" He goes, "They're gonna start metering wells soon." And I said, "You got to be freaking kidding me." He goes, "Nope, it's already on the docket. We're gonna start putting meters on wells here in California." I'm like, "Well, of course, California, because we're nuts out here."
Well, why don't they put meters on Teslas and start charging them a road use?
Well, they do pay a tremendous amount more for registration. Teslas are-
$100 more.
Oh, no,
So-
I got charged a lot more.
How about the flat
Okay.
rate?
I guarantee they're paying less than my diesel truck weight fee that I'm paying.
Yeah.
But then again, I have a
22-year-old truck is like.
And I don't know if
$700 a year.
Ron knows about this and the other folks on this call, but in San Diego, Sandag wants to impose a 4 cents tax for every mile you drive. Well, that was originally to be put on electric vehicles, but then it ended up only on gas vehicles. Go figure, right?
Hey, I got my 65 Mustang. I'm gonna go away from all this crap.
You guys sound like a bunch of lobbyists.
And I got my Morse minor, Matt. I'm gonna go.
All right, well, gentlemen, I gotta
That
bounce
Morse
out of
minor.
here. I got kids and dinner in about 10 minutes, and I'm not gonna make it.
Okay, Eddie, we'll let you
Yeah,
go.
Hey,
Thank you.
I got a class.
Hey,
I got a class I'm starting right now. Also, it's awesome to talk to you guys. Love being on. I appreciate the invite. Talk soon, guys.
Good,
Cool.
great seeing
Thank
you.
Omar.
Hey,
Thank
hey.
you. The only reason I muted before because there was some road noise. So sorry about that. But thank
Hey,
you for
no
joining.
problem. Yeah, no problem at all. I understand.
Okay.
Talk
Hey,
soon, guys.
real quick for Benjamin, before I go, I know you're doing a bunch of body shop stuff. We had another body guy in here, so I'm just gonna hold myself out a second time. I have a Tesla Mino, and it's exactly what it sounds like. We took a Tesla and turned it into an El Camino. It is 90% there. It's all welded, finished. We did most of the Bondo work, everything else. It needs some TLC.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a local like high school. If you got the car gets tons of press. It's one of the most exciting vehicles. I drive it as a daily, but there it is. Hold on, not that one, but it's
Got it.
there it is.
Nice.
It's literally my daily driver. It's all done. But if your body shop guys, your kids want to take it and make it nice and finish it up for us, I'll donate some money towards the school or
Yeah.
you know, whatever we got to do to get you guys. But I'd rather money to go to the shop class. I'm not going to donate it to the school because we know what happens there.
That's right.
Well, yeah. So I have my ASB account set up, so you can put it donate it directly to SHS Auto Body.
If you're interested in taking this on, I'm really desperately looking for someone to finish this car. I have all the parts, everything needed, and as I said, I'll get the kids gift cards, whatever I need to do, and help you guys
so
out.
second semester I wanted to do with my advanced class. I wanted the majority of second semester to be custom, quote unquote, customer jobs. So that's exactly what we're looking for.
Cool. Well,
Perfect.
Something that's high profile.
Greg's got my number.
Okay.
Mr. G, mostly everyone here's got my number. So let's exchange information. As you can see there, we put we did
I'm going to drop my cell phone number in the chat for everybody right now.
Cool. Well, let's chat soon about it. Well, I appreciate you guys. I got to get out of here.
All right.
Love what you guys are doing. I support, we support everything you guys do, and we love the automotive, and especially with the kids and getting everything going. So, hey, thank you guys for having us. You guys have a great night.
All right. Hey, thanks, Eddie. Talk to you soon.
See ya.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here too, guys. Mama just called her dinner.
All right.
Oh, my
No
goodness.
problem.
All right.
Very cool. Very cool episode. Thanks for everyone being here. Duke, man, what do you think? Duke,
I'm
teaches
sad that I
middle
got on late.
Okay.
I got on as quick as I could. I don't know. I know Carl. I know Greg. I don't know anybody else in here though.
Okay,
I see
so-
your name is Shop Class Podcast, but who
Yes,
are you?
all right. All right. So I'm Ron, Mr. G, and I started the Shop Class podcast about 4 years ago. And luckily I got some really cool people that are regulars. So you got Tim Zavacki is there. And then you have it says Philip, but it's Duke Lazowski. And
when did Vacky get here?
I don't know. He's been here. Oh, he was driving and then he converted over to here. I don't know how he did this.
No, I was in quiet mode listening. And I was on that other meeting we talked about on the phone before. So I was on that meeting.
Right. He went to the like a college fair for shop teachers in New Jersey, but it attracted a lot of attention from other colleges, not just in Jersey. But keep in mind, in Jersey, we don't have that many shop teachers, and so when a position opens up, it's they almost no one applies. So it's so you know what I mean. So the schools have to fight for this teachers, but they don't even know how to do that, so they just close positions.
Yeah, that's what happened with my class. It was closed for a year. The job's posted on EdJoin. Why isn't anyone getting the
As if
it up?
everyone's knocking down your door like they want to work with grinders and teenagers. Yeah, okay. Like everyone wants to do that.
Yeah.
Only crazy people like us do that.
Yeah. So
You know?
you're out in New Jersey as well?
I'm in New Jersey. I'm very close to New York City. I'm in an urban neighborhood, kind of like a very unique situation that we have an auto shop. Well, it's kind of like a mechanical shop, and we've got a CNC machine now and a milling machine. Everything's small. It's small little things. This is brand new, but you know, these guys. Tim's out in Western New Jersey, and he's got a nice wood shop. He does beautiful work. And then Duke is in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and he's in the middle school doing all kinds of cool 3D printing and robotics and competitions.
Yeah, we have one other, what I would say was actual CTE class at my site. We call it DFAB for digital fabrication. So they 3D printing, same thing, 3D printing, CNC, routers, all that fun stuff. It's like a wood shop with a lot of digital. Basically, they're selling cutting boards and wooden cheese knives on an auction right now for their Christmas project. So,
gotcha.
But we're like a body shop guys, man. I know Manny. We hooked up when he first started. I don't know how he got my number, but we hooked up because we're so few and far between. Dedicated body shop classes.
Yep.
It's a struggle. You feel like just being in an industrial arts class.
Well,
period. You're on an island, and
Ben,
then go to your discipline. It's a bit of a struggle, but I was very lucky at my site. I swear my only reason I'm having any success at all is because the admin at my site supports the class.
That's the most important. And Ben, I don't know if Ron, if I could share this, but I think I told you a little bit yesterday. But what I'm trying to do, Ben, is I'm trying to do a similar thing that Ron is doing, where he's uniting CTE teachers all over this country via this podcast every Wednesday. But I don't know if you know, but we have 20 automotive programs in San Diego County, from North County to South County, East County to the coast. There's 20.
Yeah.
And so people like yourself and these other automotive instructors are basically on your own to figure it out. There's no one to help you, right? I'm supportive of administration, which is really, really important, right? But even though I support 5 teachers and I've been with the San Diego Unified District for 27 years, I built a $6 million auto shop, which Steve Williams works at now. Steve's on the call. And that auto shop was completed in 2011. And we had operated the shop for a year through 2012. 2013, the school gets a new principal. And the new principal says, "What's this automotive thing over here?" And it was like, "We're closing it. This doesn't fit the vision.
Yeah.
This doesn't fit the vision of my college for all academy." So that program actually shut down, and it took us a couple of years to get it back. And fortunate Steve was able to step up and carry the torch and keep the program going. But even though that I am in a supporting role, we can't win every battle, and we've lost several programs, construction programs, graphic design programs, culinary programs, automotive programs, metal shop programs. We've lost all of them. But one thing I wanted to just mention, and Ron, I don't know if I mentioned this previously on the podcast, but LA Unified School District is the second largest school district in the United States. They actually currently serve 604,000 students under one district. Imagine that, one superintendent responsible for 600,000 students. They have 1,302 schools. That's elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. They have a total of 184 high schools that they currently are operational right now today, 2023, for LA Unified. And those 184 high schools serve approximately 130,000 high school students. The sad thing is that we all know that automotive programs and construction programs and CTE programs closed down based on different trends and leadership. Well, just real quick, I don't want to take too long, but in 1987, in LA Unified School District, they had 75 high school auto shops operational. So in 1987, 75 of those high schools had auto shops, but they only had 100 100 high schools at that time. Today, 2023, LA Unified is now down to 9 operational auto shops, but they serve 600,000 students. So and LA is the mecca for cars. I mean, I know Detroit, everybody says Motor City Detroit, but I mean, there are more cars per capita in California than any other part of the country, and more car sales, more, and so on, more drivers and so on. But so what I'm trying to do here is kind of do what Ron's doing, but provide a network for the few remaining automotive programs we have in San Diego, so that teachers like yourself have a support. So you could reach out to Steve, you could reach out to Manny and say, "Hey, I'm trying to figure out how to teach this module, but I don't know how." Or "I'm having trouble teaching students how to weld. How do you do it?" And so you need that, because your administrator is not going to know one thing about welding and not going to know anything about grinding. So again, but we need this network, but often we're in silos, because I can't help you because you're in a different district. Even though you're my next door neighbor, I can't help you. So we need, again, this is important. Thank you, Ron, for doing this, because it really brings everyone together. And, I'm trying on the sidelines equally to try to, again, build a network where we can support everyone, like the educator conference you attended last year, Ben. So, but anyway, that's my little soapbox.
No, Greg, first of all, I want to thank you as well. You've been very supportive. You've been on the podcast a few times already. And what I found over the years, which I was surprised about, I thought growing up, because I missed out on shop class because of exactly what you're describing. My school did not have shop class. My friends didn't take shop class. But I was always just, the RC kid that played with cars. And then what I found after becoming a shop teacher, just by amazing, just the way life goes, I found when I traveled to California that it was the same story, that it's very difficult to be a shop teacher and maintain your program. And then I found out that other parts of the country are having the same problems. So you have random spikes of really good programs where administrators get it and the shop teachers on top of it. And then you have other programs where they're dwindling or they're closed already. And so what I have found over the years, the most important thing is to connect. So highlight your program through YouTube, Instagram, podcasts, Spotify, now with the X platform, and then connect with the other shop teachers like we're doing here tonight. And then also that'll make you stronger. So that's one of the most important things. And the reason for the Shop Class podcast, with the support of the regulars that came here all the time, we made it through COVID, because I was like, what are we going to do? And I started the podcast almost a year and a half prior, but it really took off during COVID when no one knew what to do about teaching shop class from your house, right? It was ridiculous. So we started sharing ideas, and then we made it a regular time on Wednesday, and it just grew from there. And we've had guests, and we've done in-person events where we put together a whole conference, where we built something. So we're getting stronger as shop teachers by connecting with each other. And so basically what this boils down to is you have a career. The location of your career is by chance, whether you're in California or if you're in El Cajon or you're in West New York, which is in New Jersey. That's where I teach. It don't matter. What matters is you have a career and you have the support of other shop teachers. And then through that network, you can get the support of your administrators. And then I think you can thrive in that way. So you got us on your side. So Benjamin, welcome on board.
If I could just tap on to the end of that, I think that one other thing that's so very important to success is our industry partners.
True.
A lot of programs that I've seen, the instructor, for whatever reason, they have a taste of actual industry experience, or their industry experience was long ago. Being able to build strong industry partnerships is probably, I'd say it's even more important than support from your admin, because if you have these industry people hammering your admin about how important your program is, they're going to come around eventually. They're going to be forced to. So luckily that was very easy for me, because I spent so much time so recently in industry. I have contacts everywhere. And they're all dying for employees. So they're just begging me every day, almost like, please send us someone, please send us someone. And I always got to tell them, hey, you got to ask me around May, because these kids need to graduate high school first. But it's those industry partnerships are so very important. Uh-oh. Are you on mute?
I'm not sure you know this yet, but Harbor Freight is a huge supporter of these programs. They're giving away lots of money each year, and you just have to apply. And they're giving out like hundreds of, like $50,000, $100,000, and they make sure it goes directly to your program. So yeah, I agree.
I actually looked at that grant, and I avoided it this year. I'm going to go after that later. A big portion of writing that grant is about student successes, and we're still building on student successes. I'm still trying to figure out how to be a teacher. So what I did do, and I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it or knows any other body shop classes, but you need to reach out to an organization called CREF. It's CREF. The Collision Repair Education Foundation. I flew to SEMA for one day just to go to the awards breakfast, because I had applied for that grant. I got the invite to the breakfast, so they didn't tell me I won anything. Well, I came home with about 22 grand worth of equipment for my class. So
that's awesome.
If you know any other bodies, I see Manny's back on. We'll work on the CREF grant together next year, Manny. Because it's unbelievable the amount of, I got 10 and they'll also randomly just send you stuff. I got a box with 10 $150 detail lights. I got pallets of masking tape. They're always on the lookout how to support specifically auto body classes.
So Manny,
Oh, wow.
I know that Manny, I know you're at your shop right now, and Ron, I don't want to take the lead of your thing, but is there anything you could show us at your shop at some of the work you do and what you're teaching students? Some of your technique? Is there anything or anything on the wall?
I show them how to stand right. Like here, let me see if I can flip this thing around.
No, I mean some of your work.
Do
Oh no, everything I paint leaves here, so I don't hold on to people's
Nothing,
stuff.
no pinstripes, no graphics, stuff on the wall.
All I have is the stuff in my office, and then some skateboards that my daughter actually did.
Can you tell everyone, Manny, what you do and how you got into it? Yeah.
Wow. So my daughter did all this. She's 17 now. She did that when she was 15. So she did all.
Can you turn it horizontal?
Yeah, let me see. How do you
just
flip
turn
the camera?
Oh,
just turn your phone.
Yeah. Perfect.
Much better. Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, you're looking like an old man, Manny.
Here you go. I know.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That's some of my work right here. This is
cool.
what I do by hand, a pinstripe. So
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then here's some like silver leaf that I did on a skateboard.
Oh, I love the gold leaf. That's cool. Is that engine turning?
Yeah. And then
you do that
I got some old coupe posters in here and stuff. And then just everything I have here from all the stuff I collected over the years.
Wow.
From all the artists that I know and stuff. So yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I actually just finished a big project last week when I was on break. So I don't have anything finished in here. I can't really keep stuff in here finished because it gets overspray, I paint in here. I paint in my shop too, so I get a lot of overspray and stuff.
You got to move your finger from the lens.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I think you could pull up. What's your Instagram handle?
My Instagram is at CSNRS.
What's okay? So
it's
it's what's on the screen right now. CSNRS.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, right there.
So Manny, I'm gonna brag a little bit about Manny. Manny's talent has landed him all over the world. He goes all over the world to teach people this technique. He's been to Germany, he's been to Buenos Aires, he's been to Japan, and a few other places where he's gone and taught this technique, and he's that much in demand. So
yeah, and then so Omar Sevilla, his brother used to have a shop right next to me. He teaches at Madison. And he came over here one day, and I was actually teaching a pinstriping class, and he said, "Oh, you know how to teach?" And I'm like, "I guess so." And he said, "Hey, there's guys going to retire at Morse. You should go over there and see if you could get a job there." And so, I went and talked to Greg, and that's how I ended up at Morse. So
awesome. I'm trying to find the Instagram.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah, got it, Manny. And I'm pulling it up. Give me 1 second. Very cool. This is awesome.
Yeah, so that's my work right there. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
Dude,
that's all.
look
Yeah,
at
that's what I
that.
finished last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Wow. That is legit, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Dude, look at that. And you do that all by hand?
Yeah. Yeah, the
That-
pinstripes are all done by hand, and then I do graphics too.
Whoa, man. Oh my God. And now you're teaching this to kids?
Kind of. I realize
there's
that
the students right there in front of the body shop.
Yeah.
That's what they painted
yeah,
that car
I'm
last
teaching
year.
the kids.
That's great. Oh wow, look at that deep. How many layers does that thing have? I only
Yeah, that one I did at the shop. Yeah, that one. And I mean, you can follow our page too. We have an Instagram page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put it in the chat.
Morse Auto Body. Click on that real quick. See it?
Yeah.
It's highlighted.
Oh,
Ron.
Yep.
Click on that so you can see some of the students at work.
Yeah,
It's
right there. Yep. That's it.
Yeah, scroll down.
Yep. So we had a car show at the shop, and so we started this page when I got there. Like I wanted the kids because they're on their phones so much. I'm like, here, if you guys want to be on your phones at least be productive. And I
Yep.
either start a page.
You know, I tell teachers that all the time. And I remember there was there's the social media used to have a negative thing to it. And I always said, look, if you're going to badmouth your school on Instagram, that would be not a good idea. But if you're going to show kids doing awesome stuff, then put it on Instagram, and the school will love it because it's only going to help the kids. It's going to help the school. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's great, man. Oh man, I wish I was in your class. That looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, we done some cool stuff, man. We flamed out a Chevy Cruze last year for a shop final. And then I was hoping to do that again this year, but I don't know yet what we're gonna do for the final yet. But yeah, I start with the basics. You know, I mean they're kids, and then a lot of kids that these days, I don't know if they. It's crazy how many kids don't really care about driving. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my area, but I think I have about 6 kids maybe that drive. You know.
Oh, Manny, tell them about that Cadillac right there in the background and what's going on in these slides.
Yeah, last year KUSI News came and they did a partnership with the Auto Museum. So they brought this Cadillac to get pinstripe. They wanted to get it touched up. I didn't do all the work on there. They just wanted some touch-ups because some of it had fallen off. And so they brought the Cadillac to Morse, and I showed the kids how the pinstriping works with brushes and all that, and kind of just put it into the instruction, how it gave them a little bit of the history of pinstriping and how, it's been on cars since the 1600s, it's always been part of ornamentation. So then the news found out, so they came down and did a little segment on it. So, and then that thing actually ended up going to Las Vegas Concours d'Elegance and got like an award. So,
wow,
yeah, and that was last year. That was my first year. And then of course I showed them how to refinish correctly, how to flow coat, how to use guns, PPS cups. I try to introduce like newer style, the way people are doing it in real shops, because the guy that was there before, he was kind of antiquated, so he wasn't up to date with everything that's going on and stuff. So I try to bring the place back up to speed.
That's awesome, man. What a cool thing.
One of the things I think that's pretty cool is I never thought about this, but I saw Manny last year. He was teaching the kids how to actually spray using water.
Yeah.
Because just to get the feel of the gun, and he would have to apply the water on the hood or the fender of the car, and you could see if you got it on too heavy or too light, but you're not wasting this expensive material.
Yeah.
So it was really neat. The kids had to get the feel. They had to adjust the gun and get the pressure right and get the spray pattern right using water. And they would spray it on cardboard or paper. You could see the pattern until they got it dialed in, and then they would apply it on the car until they got that technique. Then he would move them on to a primer or paint.
Yep.
That's great.
To Greg's earlier point about us all needing to work together, Manny and I we bounce ideas because we're like on the opposite end of the same industry. I'm turning the wrenches, he's spraying the cars when we were in industry, and now we talk probably not enough, I'd say. We get busy in the minutia of things, but like my background, like I've kept trying to find time to get over to Manny's shop because one of those pictures that was on that Instagram page was this old Honda Civic that they have, and it smashed real bad in the back. Well, I want to get over there and help show them how to pull that thing out because that's like my expertise.
Yeah.
All the structural stuff. So, and Manny actually came by. I got the opportunity to teach a 2-week summer school class for incoming freshmen. They rotated into my shop for like 45 minutes a day. And Manny actually came one day and showed them about pinstriping. And then we spent the next couple of days playing around doing some pinstriping with some incoming freshmen. It was a great time. I dropped my little Instagram handle for our shop page there in the chat. We actually just we partnered up with Mitchell International recently. Gil Silva over there really jumped on board with us. We have their full estimating system, their tech advisor system for repair instructions, and then they just gave us what's probably the first picture on that Instagram page, the complete ADAS recalibration system. talking
Oh,
about
yeah, I
the,
saw that.
the future. So that right there,
It's like a 3D print system, right?
No, but that
no,
thing's like
what it, yeah, what it is
thousands of dollars.
it's about 23 grand, and it comes with a scan tool, and it's everything you need to reset all your blind spot monitoring, your adaptive cruise control, your radar, all your driver aids. That setup there is to reset all that stuff. And
Wow.
for the moment, it's just sitting there because they're going to come out and do some training with me, so then I can do some teaching with the kids. But it's we're trying to, like Manny said, we're trying to teach them the new way to do things, which also is still kind of the old way to do things, but something that's going to get them a job. Like the whole point is to get them out into a shop as quick as possible.
So how does this thing work? I'm trying to pull up a video. I don't even.
There's lasers, there's cameras.
Anytime,
So
when a
the
bumper
main
comes
way
off,
that it works, you can see
sorry,
on the machine all the weird targets and the checkers and the spots. So it depends on the car. You have to set up different targets, and then you plug the scan tool into the OBD2 port on the car, and then the car reads those targets, because you can have if some of these cameras are so sensitive, they could be a couple degrees off, and your systems aren't going to work properly. Your braking assist might not work, and that's the difference. Those milliseconds of that thing not reading properly could be the difference between an accident or an advanced heart rate because you almost got in an accident. So it's so important. Anything I'd say probably 2014 and up has to be scanned, and there has to be resets. And these are things that do not trigger a check engine light or an airbag light or a warning light. You just have to know how to do it. It's a huge topic in the collision repair industry right now. We're now scanning. The very first thing that happens to a car when it gets checked into a collision repair center is it gets hooked up and gets a pre-scan. And anything you touch, it seems like these days, windshield, front seats, front bumpers, some taillights have sensors in them, rear bumpers, grills. There's so many sensors, and anytime you unplug something, plug it back in, it may not give you a warning light, but that doesn't mean it's not operating properly. So this has created like a whole support industry. There's ADAS only shops popping up around town that are doing resets anywhere from $350 to well over $1,000, depending on the vehicle. And it's honestly pretty simple. You just you got to know what you're doing. You have to have the equipment. So it's created this small industry within collision repair. The key is you have to have a nice flat level area to do these things. So it's hard a lot of body shops, they don't want to give up the floor space for it. So that's why it's turned into like a sublet situation for a lot of body shops. But this is something that, you can teach a young kid how to do this, because it's like what they're doing all the time on their iPads and their iPhones and their MacBooks and their Chromebooks.
Yeah.
But the old dog in the body shop does not want to learn to do this. I remember when I was still the young guy in the body shop and nitrogen welding plastic came out. I was 22 and I had to do it because the manager said so. But none of the older dudes wanted to learn how to do it until they saw me making a bunch of money at it. So I did to them what the manager did to me. I handed them the instructional booklet and said, go ahead, figure it out. Because I was literally taking the other technicians' plastic pieces and repairing them and giving them back to put onto the car at the end of the job, and they got to see how much I was getting paid for it. So it's just sticking with what's happening now, and not just now, but in the future. When I first popped in, you guys were talking about electric and how manufacturers are losing money on it. I think Toyota is the only company that's being honest with us on that, saying that yes, electric is here, it is here to stay, but it's only one of multiple routes that we're going in the future. ICE engines are going nowhere. They are here to stay as well. They are going to have to become more efficient.
Ron, do you want me to tell them about my meeting the other day in LA with and how it got shut down with Tesla?
Yeah, I could kind of give you, like I'm with you, Benjamin. I like options. So, like I like capitalism. So that's why I like electric cars, because I like having options, now, there are some state governments that are forcing it, and we all agree who are like, I'm not going to speak for other people, but in general, people that hot rod using electric, like Revolt Systems, EV West, nobody wants the forcing a consumer to buy something, but they are fast and they're fun. And it's just like hot rodding, but it's a modern day version. So I've done a bunch of electric cars, and so I like having the option. But yes, like if you need like a work truck and you're a contractor, it's no brainer. F-150 all day long. Just go get it. So like that's like among people that actually work on stuff, people know that the electric car stuff is cool, but it's not like an answer. Like of course not. It's, that would be like someone saying
it's a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Right.
And it's perfectly fine. I was a cosmetic technician for Tesla at one point. I got to drive a bunch of them because you have to test drive stuff when you're done with it. And man, those things are fast and they're nice. Probably not my cup of tea. I'm like I don't know, mid-90s Toyota Camry kind of guy. But it's here, and it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
No, it's just growing.
Exactly. So we can't, even if you don't like it, you got to learn it, because the kids have to learn it.
So I want to let Greg talk about something that he was in on some meetings, because the thing about it is that, Toyota, that's great and everything, but there's all these electric car makers, but you got to understand, Tesla's not moving at a regular pace. I don't think we've seen this pace since Edison. This is a whole different animal that we're dealing with here. And so they're outpacing everyone. So because of that, they're in demand, they're looking for technicians, and they're willing to pay for it. So Greg was in on some dealership meetings, and he has some stuff to share with you guys. Go ahead, Greg.
First of all, I don't know if you guys know this, but Tesla is still banned in 5 states. So you cannot sell a Tesla. There's no Tesla dealerships or repair facilities in Alabama, South Carolina, New Mexico, West Virginia, Kansas, and Connecticut. Now, up until recently, Texas was one of the banned states, but that's where Teslas are actually made now, ironically. And I learned this. I learned a little bit more about this. I was invited to an executive board meeting with the California New Car Dealership Association up in Los Angeles about a week and a half ago. And it was on the top floor of an executive skyscraper, and all these guys coming in their suits, and they're the president of LA, the president of San Francisco, president from, all these different parts of San Diego. And the New Car Dealership Association is who regulates all the dealerships in the state. And so if if let's say, Steve wanted to buy a Chevrolet dealership, he just can't, and he has $1 billion, he just can't do it. He has to go to the New Car Dealership. He has to be part of that. He has to consult with them, and then they will give him permission, and they will help him coordinate with Chevrolet to buy his vehicles. But when he gets his vehicles, they'll help him set the pricing and the rebates. So it's all controlled. So he has to basically buy a franchise. Well, then I was at this dealership meeting, New Car Dealership meeting, and they asked us, what are you guys doing in San Diego? How are the dealerships supporting your high schools? And I said at this executive meeting, I said, well, we have one dealership, Mossy Toyota. They're really supportive of our high school. And I said, I can't really think of anyone else, but recently Tesla has really started showing up to our meetings, and they're supportive of our programs, and they've actually hired some of our student graduates. And right at that time, I was continuing to talk about Tesla. The president of this association at this executive meeting turned to me, real firm face, and he said, "Excuse me, sir, we don't talk about Tesla at this table." And it was a really, 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 and he wasn't joking, it was a really awkward moment. And I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't you talk about Tesla? And I just kind of hunched down in my seat and kind of, let the meeting run out. And then later on, the whole group went out to lunch, and I was talking to another gentleman about it. And he was telling me, well, yeah, Tesla is Tesla. You can't buy a franchise. They've changed the game completely. They set their prices. There is no salesman or women. It's a whole complete different model, which is dominating the automotive market in California. Now, I can't say that for New Jersey, but we were in another meeting. Steve was at that meeting about a month and a half ago. Steve, I don't know if you remember, the guy from Tesla said that they're delivering 6,000 Teslas a month in San Diego, meaning they sell over 6,000, but they actually deliver 6,000 a month in San Diego County to the people who buy them. The other gentleman was with our San Diego New Car Dealership Association, and he said all of the other dealerships combined, Ford, Hyundai, Toyota, Honda, all the different makes of combined, they don't even sell 6,000 cars a month. So this one manufacturer, Tesla, is selling over 6,000 vehicles a month in San Diego alone. So it was very interesting, but Ron and I had a conversation about this last night. I think you used the analogy of your father when he was a baker, and how business was done one way for 100 years, the same way. And now Tesla comes and they're game changer. Now, one more thing I want to add to the equation. I don't know if you guys heard this recently, about a week ago, but Hyundai announced, and so did Amazon, that Hyundai is now the first vehicle you can buy on Amazon, brand new. And it's the same technique, the same platform, very similar to Tesla. You go on to Amazon, you buy your new Hyundai Genesis, you select your color, your options, you do the checkout, you make an appointment to pick up your new car. So, and Ron, you went through this process buying a Tesla, and so did Omar. But imagine never having to go see a salesman, never having to haggle price. It's a game changer. There it is right there. So that's it. So this is the game changer right around. So all these guys trying to sell Buicks and Oldsmobiles, God bless them, but this is the way it's happening now.
I wish Oldsmobile was still a brand.
I know.
So, let me just say this. Also, Manny, I only muted you because I thought there was feedback. So you're welcome to join in anytime, with the sound. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I hope people understand that, because sometimes there's feedback. But, I always tell this joke about my dad had a bakery in Manhattan when Manhattan was like a rough place. And he was kind of like an old school guy. And he had a bakery, and my grandfather started the bakery a million years ago. And, they sold sugar and butter. It's basically sugar and butter in donuts and, pastries and babkas and all kinds of, whatever. And so, my dad had a stomach like out to here, and he had a heart attack at 52 years old, and he kept on going, you don't care. And so I always tell people, they're like, oh, why won't Ford switch over to electric? And why won't these people just go electric? I said, let me tell you something. If you walked into my dad's bakery and you're either the government or a customer or anyone, and you said, hey, listen, Mr. Baker, you're going to change over, or you're going to start selling kale salads. Not going to happen. My dad would have kicked them out. You know what I'm saying? So I totally get it from everyone's point of view. If you're old school, you're going to stay old school. If you're new school, you're going to try something new. I just think there's room for everything. And as far as our kids go, I've landed 2 kids jobs at Tesla. One went through the START program, which they paid him to learn how to work at a dealership. And then another kid went to engineering school, and then I got him a job at a dealership, which is ironic because he's an engineer, and then he went to a dealership to work with his hands. I said, listen, that's a foot in the door. And what people don't realize is, because just like Greg said, those dealerships are owned by Tesla corporate. So if you do well as a technician at a dealership, you can move up to research and development at the corporate level. So one of my students that worked on, actually we worked on this Lotus 7 right here. One of my students worked on that with me, and that we never finished it, but that's how things go sometimes. And he worked on that, and then I got him a job at a dealership after he graduated college. And then from there, he went to work at corporate R&D. He works on the Cybertruck and the semi-truck. he does testing. So when they break stuff, he measures all the broken stuff. So very cool. Oh, no way. Dude, Tony Santana is about to join this call. That's insane.
That's awesome.
That's insane. It says Anthony Santana. I'm like, wait, it's about the computer's loading. Let's see what this. Tony, is that you? Oh, we got to give him a minute to join. It takes a second, the computer. That's amazing if he joins in. That's awesome. Speak of the man himself, the myth, the legend. So anyway, yeah. So, there's a lot to go around here, but I still think I love looking at Manny's pinstriping as much as I like looking at a Tesla, although I think the pinstriping is more fun.
You probably can't see this, but near 15,000 Tesla registrations in San Diego County since September. 15,000 new Tesla registrations since September. The next car after that is Toyota with 3,700 registrations.
Oh my!
So the biggest manufacturer in the world is getting their butt kicked.
So 15,000 to 3,700.
That's serious. I tell people all the time it's not going anywhere. It's unbelievable. Hey Tony, can you hear us? You got to unmute yourself and try unmuting the camera there. Well, I hope he can join. I sent him the text earlier. Tony's got some.
Join?
Yeah, I asked him to join.
Okay.
We'll have to do a whole other episode because we're coming to the end of the night here. But he's got some cool cars in the garage, like a amphib car. He's got 3 of them. He's going to put them all together and try and get them back on the road or the water.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's got a couple other cool little cars. He's got like Subaru, like graveyard. He's got like a ton of Subarus and some rare cars like a RX-7 with a convertible top. All kinds of weird stuff. It's cool. Well, we probably got to wrap it up soon. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, can you hear us?
That should do
Oh,
it.
there you go.
That
All
should
right,
do it.
Yeah.
Holly. you
Yeah,
got
I
it to
can
work.
hear you.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's here.
It's a good thing Holly
Hey,
was
turn
here.
it horizontal.
Okay.
This is the
Okay, is
treat
that
of the
good?
night right here. This is amazing. Yeah, it's much better. Dude,
Okay,
we got
very good.
Benjamin's in the house. Tony, Benjamin's here. Benjamin is in your shop in Santana.
What's up, Tony?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
That's
Good. How you doing?
amazing. We were just I was showing
Good,
pictures
good.
of your custom cars from back in the day, and we were talking about shop
Okay.
classes, and yeah, we're sort of coming to the end of the show. It's sort of like it's almost it's past 10, and I'm still at the high school here. I'm gonna get
Right.
they're gonna call the police soon, so I gotta get out of here by 10:30 at least. But I'm glad you're here,
Okay.
man. How you doing?
Good. Yourself?
Yeah, did you get down to SEMA?
I did. Yeah, it was
Nice.
awesome.
Nice. So do you know Manny? Manny's doing amazing pinstriping. Manny, where do you teach? I forgot. Oh, Greg, where? Yeah, there we go.
Manny teaches over at Morse High School, Tony.
Yeah, that's me.
He's
Okay.
auto body instructor.
Okay, very
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got pinstriping and whatnot. And we also got Steven. Steven's in the house. I think you guys know each other.
Okay,
Nice.
very good.
I don't think we ever. I met Jake Bagnell from that school. That's about it, I think, though.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And I know one of your friends, Chris Boyer. I talk to him once in a while.
Oh, okay, right on. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
So
there you go.
So
There you
Holly
go.
got you on the interwebs.
She did. I would have been just looking at my phone.
All right, to be fair, yeah, this is we haven't had you on the show before, so yeah, we got to get you on the show more often, man. But you're
Uh-huh.
doing it, man.
That sounds good.
Yeah. What's going on with the AbFib car? We got to make some progress on that.
I'm gonna go this weekend. So it's getting better to.
Okay.
You know, you got the shop fixed up pretty good, and just cutting the front out and kind of replacing some metal there.
Gotcha. What can you? We're gonna probably wrap the show up soon, but give us a highlight. What's your favorite custom car you worked on with the high school kids?
Let's see. You know, we worked on so many. It's hard to say. Probably like you know, or some off-road thing that we made.
Oh, they were mentioning that. Who was the one who knew about that? What about this one? What was this made from? A Subaru?
Yeah. No, that was a Suzuki.
Looks like a Samurai, yeah.
A Suzuki Samurai.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. That was pretty cool. That was a lot of fun.
Where's this car now?
You know, I sold it to a friend, and he passed away, but he sold it to, he gave it to somebody else in, it's in, let's see, Kentucky.
Wow.
Yeah, Louisville area.
Nice. And it was in Off-Road Magazine or Four Wheeler Magazine?
Right. It was in a couple of different magazines. And the top flips open and makes and then the tent fits in there. So that was a lot of fun.
Nice. Cool. Well, Tone, I hate to cut it short, but I got to get out of the building, you know, because I'm here so late. And
okay.
I'll call you.
Well, it's good seeing everybody.
Yeah, man. Dude, it's awesome. And I don't know if you ever met Greg, but Greg Kerwin's in the house, and he's doing a lot of support for the shoppers.
Yeah, we've met before. And I used to work with my father with the scholarships to Caterpillar and stuff like that back in the day.
Right. Yep.
Nice. All right, well, we're gonna wrap it up. Tone, I'll give you a call maybe tomorrow or something. And I appreciate everybody being here. You know, I think we lost Tim along the way, but Duke's still here.
Thanks.
Okay.
Nice.
Duke.
And we got
Thanks, guys.
we got Steve. Yeah, we got Steve, Benjamin, Greg, and Manny. Thanks for everybody coming in. This is a wild show. We had Revolt System.
Yeah, that was very good.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll get
everyone.
Yeah.
We'll catch you later.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for the invite.
Talk to you guys later.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
All right.
Bye.